Hi, so I am here talking to Elyse Slaine from Real Housewives of New York. As you guys know, I had you on a couple months ago for a very juicy interview where we got to kind of know your life before this stint on Housewives. And I want to talk to you now that we've seen all three parts of the reunion. Elyse, first of all, you look gorgeous. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, what did you think? I'm going to let you just go. What did you think about what they said about you, and just in general, what did you think of the reunion and the end of the season?
Well, I'll start backwards. I'll start with three, since that's where I was most talked about. Which I think it was vile that they did not have me at the reunion, but had no problem talking behind my back. But Ramona calling me a black widow, as ridiculous as it is probably the nicest thing she said about any other cast member. So I'm not too offended.
Right. But I know from Jill Zarin that when Jill went to the Halloween party where Dorinda got all mad and screamed at, Ramona, that Jill Zarin went up to her and a camera was there, but they didn't use it. And I asked Jill if I could share the story this morning, and she said I could. And she said, Dorinda, I've been trying to call you. I really want to go have lunch with you and, catch up. And Dorinda was like, you know what, Jill? No, not until after we're done filming. I know what you're trying to do. And she said, bravo, bravo, bravo. She did it too. And so then they never used that. And she never wanted to have lunch with Jill. And I just thought, oh, that's fine that you don't want to have lunch with Jill. But it's kind of interesting that she really didn't want to share what happened with the breakup, which you can't blame her either. But then I don't think you can be critical of what someone else is trying to hide with their man as well.
That's true. That's true. You can't be a hypocrite. If you feel protective of your own, love life and relationship, you can't expect someone else to not be protective of theirs.
Right. What's happened since? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think about the new season, or who they should keep, or do you know any scoop on who they're looking at?
Well, I know that they definitely want diversity. But I don't know who they're looking at. I imagine the whole cast is coming back.
So tell me, you want to talk a little bit about how she did humiliate you and hurt you?
Well, so if you look at what she said, so first of all, when I was on your podcast last time, right, I was not critical of her, nor was I critical of her on any podcast or interview that I had done. And this is well after she and I were not speaking. I still said she's beautiful, she's smart, she's independent. I still championed her. As soon as she did any type of interview, she immediately dragged me. She said that I was boring, I brought nothing, that's why I wasn't listed on the Bravo website. That was a lie, because number one, they were pursuing me to come back and film. And additionally, I filmed without a contract for 7 months because they sent me a contract prior to Newport, and I didn't sign it because it was so onerous. And I was going back and forth with them. And I actually didn't sign it until a couple days before, I think 2 days before the first episode aired. That's why they couldn't list me. But, Ramona was just mean about it. And she had tried to make up with me. And I was not receptive to it. But that being said, I still was not disparaging her publicly. And if you think about, first she said in the papers, it's not my job to make Elyse feel comfortable. But then I got in trouble because I had relationships with the other girls on the cast, right? She was ignoring me. The other girls were engaging me. And, Ramona, you can't have it both ways, right?
Right.
So nothing she said was really making sense. And if you think about what my big crime was, and people didn't see a triggering event that had happened, and that was after the haunted house. I was very clear that there was, some topics that were just off the table for me. I was not a full-time cast member. I was not looking to be one. And I said, look, out of deference to people in my life, there are certain topics I won't discuss. And Ramona knew that. And I was very clear with her. And I said, are you sure that this is going to fly? She said, absolutely, don't worry about it. I feel safe with you. You're safe with me. And sure enough, at the dinner after the haunted house, Luann attacks me. And I mean viciously. And with that, I walked off. I said, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this. And when filming was done and we were all outside getting ready to leave, I was visibly very shaken. And Sonia and Dorinda and Ramona were going out for a drink. Lee and Tinsley were going off in another direction. And Sonia said, you look very upset. Come with us. Let's talk about it. And Dorinda said, yes, come with us. And Ramona says, out of nowhere, right? Keep in mind, this is a girl who walks into my house, my apartment, without knocking even. Ramona says, Elyse can't come with us to get a drink. So I said, I can't come with you to get a drink? And Sonia said, Ramona, why not? Your friend's upset. And she said, what are you upset about? And I said, I'm upset because you knew that there was a no-go zone for me. And now I don't know how to handle it because I don't want this being shown. So Ramona said to me, well, you don't have to talk about it, but we can talk about it. So I said, are you kidding me? I said, you bring me on. I'm supposed to respect all of your no-go zones, all of your boundaries, which I have. And there are so many things you don't want discussed, which I respect. But I should have your back, but you don't need to have mine. And I said, I would never, ever do this to you. I said, you are a vile person. And with that, they went in the car and went down for a drink. I went home by myself. Tinsley and Leah both called me to see how I was because everyone could see I was really shaken up. And then Ramona sends me a text in the middle of the night. Sorry you were upset. You couldn't come. We were discussing business. They were in a club, So I just wrote back, bullshit, And she said, and I don't remember some of her more lies that she was telling. I just ignored her. The next day, the producer said to me, film, and now I was being told constantly to call Ramona out on her ignoring me. Right? I mean, she was ignoring me basically in Newport and from Newport on. And everyone kept saying, you have to call her out. She's treating you so badly. And I said, no, this is her gig. I'm not going to call her out. And I looked like an idiot sitting in the background so many times, I didn't want to chime in when I thought she was wrong. And so, I just looked like a fool. I had no backstory. I had no storyline. Okay. But then when they said, okay, well, now we want you to talk about why she wouldn't let you come for a drink, which was not filmed. So I had to tell the story to Sonia. Well, now I didn't really feel so protective of Ramona. So I met with Sonia, and that's when I said that Ramonaville is a one-way street. Really, with all the horrible things that have been said about Ramona, that was my big crime, that I said she's a one-way street. Dorinda talks about her bad facelift and Ramona's like, I still love you. You could kill me and I'll love you. Oh, Elyse, you said I'm a one-way street. You're a black widow. It just was ridiculous.
So what did you think about when Sonia said in the reunion that you betrayed Dorinda? You betrayed
That made
Ramona.
me furious. That made me furious because number one, Sonia was constantly saying to me, she's treating you so badly. And you could see at Luann's Halloween dinner, Sonia said, tell her how you feel. And she said to Ramona, you treat your friend like she's the bottom of the totem pole. And again, I just went, I do feel that way. And Ramona shrugs. And so again, my big crime, I said, what kind of friend do you consider me? Do you consider me a friend? If this were reversed, I would have hugged her and said, of course you're my friend. I love you. That would have been the end of it. Right? She could have taken away my camera time, which is what she wanted to do. But instead, she just walked away from me. So I was pretty angry. And I have text messages from Sonia where Sonia said to me, I have your back, both on and off screen. The way Ramona treated you is very telling. So I released that text because I was so pissed at Sonia.
Right. So that was the last time we saw you. Right. Was at the Leah party. I mean, sorry, yes, right. Yes.
I wasn't mic'd at Leah's party.
Oh, really? Why didn't they mic you?
I went there, I was mic'd, and then 10 minutes later, before I walked in, they came and they took it off me. I was blindsided. I had no idea. Ramona had called me while I was leaving to go to the party. And I didn't answer the call, not to be a jerk, but I was in the middle of a trade. So I just wanted to finish my trade. Mm-hmm. And I figured I would talk to her when I saw her down there. And they took the mic off, and I went over to Leah and I said, yeah, they took the mic off me. I don't know what's going on. And Leah said, oh my God, I don't know, but please stay. And I said, of course, I'm going to stay. I'm here for you. When Ramona was talking to Leah's mother, I came over and sort of gave her a half smile. You know, I wasn't looking to fight with her. And then when she said, I don't know you, and she ran away from me, that set me off. But I did not think that that would end up getting aired because I thought, well, they're not going to hear anything I'm saying.
Wow, very interesting. So where do you go from here? What is going on going forward in your life?
Well, I'm still trading my cryptos, which is what I do full time. I'm clearly not coming back. I don't speak with Ramona anymore. Again, never evil to her, never gossiped about her. I just wasn't receptive yet to talking. And then we were finally going to speak right after July 4th weekend, and then the infamous cameo came out, and that was the nail in the coffin.
Right. Yeah. And then I saw that, you know, she had mentioned our conversation about the shitting in the pants. And then I felt bad because I'm like, well, first of all, I brought it up and I asked you about it and you were, you know, quite classy about it. So I think I even responded on social media or on my podcast or something where I was like, can I just say, like, oh, God, now I'm on Ramona's shit list, no pun intended. But like,
no pun intended. And you cannot poo-poo the seriousness of that.
Yes. But when you guys did that cameo, you didn't think to maybe redo it?
Well, so here's the thing. I had done over 100 cameos. I've never had one land on social media. And I'm pretty new to social media. So I had 28 cameos to do that day. And what I thought Leah was going to say, right? I mean, you could see I'm shocked by what Leah said. So the person who paid for the cameo wanted me to talk about my friendship with Ramona and, you know, I think why Ramona can't meet a man. And this was on a Tuesday. I knew coming up on Thursday's episode, you were going to hear Ramona say she can't meet a man because she's the 1% and men are so intimidated by her wealth, they can't get an erection. That's what I thought Leah was going to say. So when I called Leah into the cameo and then she made, you know, the comment that she made, you could see I crack up because it was funny and it was shocking. I should not have uploaded it. That was totally my bad and I take full responsibility for it. But I really, if I had taken a second to think about it, oh my God, this can end up on social media, I would have deleted it and done it again. But I just uploaded it and then went on and finished 27 more cameos. And then when it did go on social media, I went on social media and I basically apologized and said, look, there's no truth to this. It's obviously we were being stupid, you know, and raunchy. And I was sorry. So I did try to backpedal.
Well, I forgive you. And anybody wants a cameo, you know where to go. Get it from Elyse. Thank you so much for doing the follow-up. And I will continue to follow. Everyone continue to follow Elyse on social media. And I love your honesty. And I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. Thank you.